I basically stepped out of that company, and the rest of my family's running it still. So.
Okay. So you got into real estate. In the first year in real estate, you did 26 deals, 26 units?
So I did 26 units as my first thing. I had zero experience. The first thing I did was buy, that was the first house I ever bought, was I bought 26 low-income properties that were in really bad shape in low-income areas.
And were those each individual properties, or are we counting doors?
It was 26 individual houses. That was my first deal I ever did. No experience, didn't know what I was doing.
Tell me how you locked that up. Was it a portfolio? Was it?
I'd like to step back 1 second because that was like 6 months after the solar panel conversation. So I want to tell you about what happened in between there. So I went to the Burr strategy on YouTube and Bigger Pockets. And then after that, I went to the beginning of the podcast. And I was like, and that's when I clicked, right? I kind of woke up, this can't be, maybe I was already feeling that a little bit before. This can't be it for life. I'm waking up, I'm doing the daily grind. This can't be all the things. And so early BP was all teaching about, normal people. Actually, most of BP is normal people and how they were successful. I didn't know much, but I tried this. And so I crushed the content at 2x speed because at the time I didn't know about 3x speed. And so I crushed the
2x speed is so BS, by the way. But
at 2x speed, I listened to the podcast from 1 all the way to like 348. So I caught up. And this is like 2019. It was like maybe it was like August of 2018. 2019. And so I just listened 3 hours a night, every day of the week, and then 6 hours on weekends. So I was crushing content. And I had personal mentors. I had a personal mentor, 2 personal mentors with me whole time. It was Brandon Turner and David Green. In my ear for 6 hours a day, hey, taking action is more important than what action you take. Taking action is more important than what action you take. And so run the numbers, let the math decide. And there was all the nuggets, and you guys, you can lead a fish to water, but it was really taking action that did it, but all the stuff was there. And then, hey, these normal people tried it, they got burned, they came out okay, right? So it was like hundreds of stories of this. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but the math says, there's something called the 1% rule. This deal was coming in, analyze numbers, analyze, five deals a day and make offers, analyze 10 deals a day, make offers on 3, eventually you're going to get a deal. So I started doing that, right? Exactly what it said. And so I was looking at a different property, and I literally tripped over a crack on a really, really run-down property, a crack in the sidewalk. And there was a for sale sign. I recognized it from the MLS, and it was just super cheap. It was like, I don't know, 30 grand or something like that. And my realtor, who was a part of my core 4, he was like, hey man, this is actually a part of a 26 unit portfolio. Why don't you buy all of it? And I was like, I can do that? I never bought a house before, right? I think I made one offer before. It got rejected, made another offer, it got rejected. And so I was going to just do the standard Burr strategy. And so then it was more like a traditional, right? So I brought 20% down payment to a bank. They evaluated the properties, and it was, I think it was like $1.1 million. So I brought like 200 some odd grand. There's fees in there and stuff. So it was 220 grand. I ended up borrowing 50 grand from family for 6 months. And the rest I got from my portfolio in the stock market. And so I sold, created a taxable event, and was like, I've got a few months to figure out how to pay those taxes back. And so I then just rolled all of it, because I should have only had 180 grand, but I rolled all 220 into buying these properties. And so that was my first event. I first didn't know anything. I just ran the deals, and I tried to take emotion out of it and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really have a core 4 yet, and I'm going to just buy. And so I ran the deals by, I think, Dave Perret, who I didn't know. I thought he was just some investor in the market. Right? I didn't know he was, really knew his stuff. And he never met me, and he's like, oh, this guy is gonna get home. He didn't want to be like, oh yeah, buy it. Yeah. He was like, well, if the numbers say it and you're comfortable, do it. So I just went off the math. The math said, hey, this is making 12 to 15 grand a month. My note's 7 grand. You should probably be able to figure it out.